Hi Virgo, and welcome to my channel. So Virgo, I'm first and foremost the same disclaimer that I have put out for the other signs that I've read for already. This is the very beginning of my journey with this channel, and so I apologize in advance for the very poor setup. I understand it's nothing as professional and as I would like it to be. I have a lot of Virgo in my chart, so this is kind of disturbing to me. But the reason why I have started this journey now is because I really felt pulled to do it. I didn't want to postpone it anymore. I didn't want to have everything in check, just like a good Virgo would want before starting a new venture. And so I just felt called to do it, and I'm by starting now, even if things are not perfect just yet, I hope that I can reach out as many of you as possible in terms of if I can offer any support and guidance, which obviously doesn't come from me but from spirit or whatever you believe in. Then that's my purpose attained, and that's what I'm here for. So thanks for your patience. You will see the camera moving just like this. You see, this is what I'm going to do at times just to show you the cards. In fact, this is an overview of all the cards that I pulled out for you, except for a couple ones that will come at the very end as guidance, final guidance. I have them on the side at this time. So, yeah, one last thing I wanted to say is that given that this is the very beginning of my channel, I have posted a video, and I have also written the content of the video in case you just don't, you don't want to bother looking into like watching the whole video. But it's a 5 minutes video that explains exactly how I read what's meaningful to me, because I do blend a whole lot of astrology into my readings, because that's what I do. That's my thing. That's what I live and breathe. And it's something that I believe can give a whole lot of insights, just like any tarot reading read intuitively as I do could offer. And so the two things mixed up together, I feel it's a very good balance. It gives a whole lot of information into the psyche and into the energies that are running at the moment. And so if you want to go and check it out, that would be something for you to get to know me a little bit more. And otherwise we can just get to start with this video. And the important thing that I will highlight is that at least for this round of readings, I'm starting with the energy that crowns that is surrounding us at this moment, and this is specifically for you. And to do so, I pull cards from this deck. I usually pull one only, but two came out while I was shuffling, and one is Mercury retrograde, Reinvention, and Sun Spirit. So I kept them both because, I believe in no coincidences. So if both of them have come out, I believe there's a reason. And in fact, going forward with the reading, I absolutely saw what that was all about, and it makes absolute sense to me. So I'll start by saying that, first and foremost, Mercury is the ruler of your sign, and therefore that means you have a very strong presence in this reading, which is confirmed by the Sun, the card of the Sun over there, which kind of just states a bit of the same. Your individuality is very present in this reading. So that tells me that no matter what it is that you're dealing with, whether it's a career concern or a loved one that you want to know more about, a relationship that you don't know where it's headed, whatever the matter is, it starts with you. And isn't that the case most of the time, I would say? But in this specific reading, which, by the way, the energy is temporary, so don't think that this is forever and ever, amen. It's just a time in space, and so the energy dissipates and changes and morphs all the time. And so please just take this with a grain of salt, as in this is temporary. Everything changes, good and bad. And also this is a collective reading, so some things will resonate with you and some won't. So please just retain only what actually makes sense to you. But what I was saying is that in this case, it's really about you and what you are going through at this time. It was very interesting because your reading starts with an incredible card, which is usually a very joyous card. It's a beautiful one. It's the Four of Spells, which in the Traditional tarot is the Four of Wands, and so if you know tarot a little bit, you know that that's a very happy card. That's something that is all about celebrating something that is important to you, something that's meaningful to you, sharing a good time with other people, people you feel familiar with, comfortable with. And so it's a moment of joy. And so I was really happy to see that card. Not to say that the rest of the reading wasn't a good one. It's just to say that if that's the beginning, that gives me kind of like, okay, this is where we're headed. But I hadn't taken into consideration what the meaning of the actual energy crowning, your space at this moment is all about, which is, like I said, it's one of them is Mercury retrograde. Which rightly so, the card says it's a time for reinvention. And why is that? So Mercury, usually when it's retrograde, everybody is really fearful of it. It happens about 4 times during a month, and it lasts for about 3.5 weeks. And that's the time where people, including me, but that's probably because I have a very strong Virgo presence in my chart, we have all sorts of issues with technology, for example, or, an email we think we have sent has never left our drafts, or I don't know, our computer shuts down, or there's generally speaking miscommunication with others. And so it's a moment of frustrations for most of us. And unless we take it with a little bit more wisdom and we understand what this period is all about, then we kind of just get stuck into the idea that this is a difficult time and we just can't wait for it to go. What Mercury retrograde really is just a time that really would help us and serve us very well to mull over things, to rethink things, to make sure that we calm our minds, which are normally going very fast, especially you, Virgo, because you're ruled by Mercury, which is the fastest planet of all, pretty much. And so it's about slowing down. It's about reevaluating things that we were not considering in a normal life, like when everything is so fast paced, we just don't even look into possibilities or alternative ways of thinking and doing things. But what it actually is, Mercury retrograde, or in general, retrograde planets are actually said to be more empathic, which means that they act a little bit more silently, more internally, which when it translates into the actual energy on the 3D and the planet Earth, what it means is that can lead us to meetings, for example, that we would have not considered as important if we were racing through our day, just because we didn't have the time to even notice the thing. So it's a time. Mercury retrograde is a time that strange occurrences can happen. You may meet somebody that you haven't met in a long time, and that could happen the most unexpected place. It could be that you have a conversation with somebody that you only have a very superficial relationship with, and all of a sudden you understand how deep that person is, how interesting that person is, and you just want to know more about them. Now, when it comes to, like, this is a general reading, and I'm reading for in the month of March 2024, but this will be valid for any time that you're actually called to listen to this video. So if at this specific time you're here because you're wondering about a relationship, for example, now this is not a good time, for example, to, Mercury retrogrades, it's usually not a good time to get married, for example, but it's a perfectly good time to renew your vows, because it's something that you're just thinking about, refeeling it, and if that feels good, you just want to go ahead with that. It's something that has already been established, and it's something that you want to confirm. So that is a good time to do that. Now, it's not a good time to, for example, initiate a divorce or to end a relationship, because Mercury moves so fast that the forward momentum will come back in no time, and then you're going to be thrown back into the situation you were before, and so you're going to start doubting yourself and your decision. Should I have separated? Should have I ended the relationship? So you don't want to put yourself in that position. So Mercury retrograde is, for example, also a very good time to show up in a reading and to have a reading done, because that means that you're reevaluating things in your life. You understand that perhaps there are things you need to have clarified. So you are taking your time to actually dive into yourself. And so all of this to say that that very first card, it's really a clear example of how we would normally face life, which is, oh, fantastic. Let me show you again. This is a Four of Wands. That's the most beautiful card. This is what we need. This is what I want to go, and this is where, the kind of place that makes me happy. That's exactly where I am. Now, Mercury retrograde kind of tells you that perhaps not everything is as it seems, and so maybe you need to dive more into it. And why did I tie all of this to the first card? Because the rest of the reading is just about that, really. So the second card that I got here, let me show it to you. It's the Council of Animals. Now, this card is the equivalent of judgment, if you will, and it's a card that actually asks you to reevaluate also parts of yourself, not just to shed judgments on others or on yourself, but also to really kind of look inside of you, and tells you that you cannot really lie to yourself. You may have thought that everything was fine. You may have put up perhaps an appearance, and you may have believed that to the point that you thought that that was your reality. But there is a quality of disillusionment, if I may. There is a quality of, okay, so maybe not everything that shone in my life was actually gold. Maybe I convinced myself that that was the case, but guess what? Perhaps it's something that I need to reevaluate. And you can't really lie to yourself, can you? I mean, you will need to look at things in the face, and for sure that could be a very scary thing to do. And here we go to the next card, which is the Nine of Challenges, that tells me that you probably have, like a real hard time to think about the situation, or to even think that you may have been disillusioned, that what you thought was real and happy and beautiful may not be the case. You're pushed to look into the mirror, literally. Look at that. It's a time where you need to look at yourself and be honest with yourself, which is not the easiest thing to do most of the time. I give you that. The twos in the tarot decks are usually referring to what you need to do first in order to do well with that particular suit at hand. So in this case, the Two of Challenges, it's equal to the Two of Swords. But the interesting thing about this reading is that you had pretty much all of the twos out. You had 3 out of 4, which tells me that there is a whole lot of thinking about how you need to proceed in your life to actually attain what it is that you really want, the kind of happiness and fulfillment. And we're going back to the Sun card over here. What fulfills you? What you need to feel that way? What will establish your individuality in the most truthful ways? Well, you need to work on it. You need to find that out. And this reading is all about this. So you will see here the next Tuesday we're going to encounter what they're all about. In fact, I can show you now. So you had the Two of Challenges, like I said. Let me put this, okay. And then we had the Two of Visions, and right next to it is the Two of Boons. Now, the Two of Visions is equal to the Two of Cups. And so if you know the tarot, you will know that this reading could be about a concern that you have, or a thought that you have about a loved one, somebody that you, if you understand the concept of soulmates, even twin flames, if you believe in that, it's something that may be revolving around that area. But again, it starts with you. It's not about the other. It's about how you see, the way you open your heart to relationships, if that's what you're looking for. And then the Two of Boons next to it is the Two of Pentacles, and that suggests that you should be really careful about the load that you take on board. You shouldn't be overdoing it. You should be a bit more patient and balanced in what you do and in how you go about your life, because that's going to give you more clarity instead of rushing. And again, we're going back to, let's remember that this is a phase in your life where you are actually in a Mercury retrograde kind of energy. It's a moment of reassessing things in your lives. And so the reading continues by showing me an energy that it may as well be a person, but again, I think it's more so the kind of energy. So it's an energy that says there's a bit of detachment. And so, like I said, it could be a person that appears in your life and it's detached and somebody you're struggling with because you can't connect with it. But otherwise, this would be an energy that it's really about, okay, this is a time to strategize. I have the competences to do that. I have the skills, which is proven here by the Nine of Spells, which is equal to the Nine of Wands in a regular deck. And that tells me that you have everything that you need at hand to actually move forward in a way that doesn't bring more disillusionment in your life, something that brings to you something concrete, something that could make you understand how to go about a relationship or a specific person if that's what you are thinking about, or how to balance more your life and how things have been playing out in your day-to-day life. And the way to do it could be different ways. Again, this could be another person, possibly a more of an immature person, if you want to relate this reading to also somebody else. But again, I see it more as an energy, and in that case, it would be that you could actually implement more of your knowledge by, I don't know, taking up studies again, perhaps. And it's you can make an investment in yourself, or you can try to find a way to establish more of your material security, because you have the skills to do it at this time. You have the mental capacity, you have the magic. Really, it's in your hands, just like you could see it from this image. Now it's metaphorical, but obviously what I mean is that you have it in you. You don't miss anything. You just have to use the tools that you have at hands. Okay. Now, what's important is that you don't feel like left astray, so to speak, in the process of doing this internal search and trying to understand yourself better and see how you can move yourself towards your goal effortlessly, or more effortlessly. Because yes, we have the Five of Visions here, so it's the Five of Cups, but don't worry if you've lost sight of what it is that you really want. There may be a moment of despair at this time when you're like, okay, but I don't really know what I want, or I know what I want but I don't know how to get there. It's temporary. Okay, it's that feeling of temporary loss and unhappiness that in the long term, in the long run, whenever you've done the work that you need to do, it will be paying you off so well, because the vision was always there in the first place. And don't forget that you're not alone. Don't forget that there's always somebody out there. It's definitely somebody there that out there that is actually there to help you, to support you, and it's found in the most unexpected place. This is, again, retrograde. Mercury retrograde is a good time to actually stop and reevaluate your friendships, for example, and see who's actually there for you, and maybe give a bit more care and attention and time to those people that perhaps you have, I don't know, like not forgotten, but kind of like put it on the side while you were leading your busy life. That could be it. And by all means, we all do that. We all fall into that trap. So there is no reason to feel guilty or to think, oh my God, what kind of awful friend have I been, or what kind of awful partner have I been, or I may have not been entirely good or honest or upfront with my colleagues. It's not about feeling guilty. It's about acknowledging where you're at in your journey and taking advantage of what you can find around you that can help you move along with in the journey, and become the better person that you want to be, that you know that you can be. Okay, so at this stage, it kind of shows me that, well, there is certainly a whole lot going on in terms of options. Like we're saying, it seems like it's a full like moment of reevaluation and a reinvention even of who you are as a person in the world. So the choices may be a lot, the doubts may be a lot, the ways to get to where you want to go may be a lot, and you just don't know what to choose, what's supposed to be for you. And there is a little bit of a caution here that I would like, something that pops into my mind with this card, which is um, This card is sort of a warning against escaping into delusion in terms of, okay, you may feel defeated. Yes, you had the Five of Vision there. Yes, you may have not seen right away that you have people around you that actually don't ask anything back from you and that just offer your help, their help and support. But you may be here still in this, at this time, in this energy where you just lack direction and you just lean more towards fantasy as opposed to reality. And we're going back to the first card, the card where you perhaps thought you were at, but you don't, you may not be right at that place. You may want to head there, and that's a wonderful goal to have, but you're not quite there yet. Otherwise you wouldn't be shown all of this work that you need to do on yourself, with all the twos showing up in this reading. And so one more thing I'd like to add is that if this is not your first reading, you're watching, and this is not something I would normally say, but perhaps you're looking a lot into some kind of external help, which is wonderful. It means that you understand that you need support, and that you look in all the good places. But perhaps there may be a little bit too much confusion, and asking the same question over and over again in your head and out in the world can only create more, kind of murky waters, if you see what I mean. Just, like the universe listens to us all the time. And so when we put out a request, when we have a wish, when we would like for things to go a certain way, and we just genuinely just put that out and say, oh my God, I really would wish to do, for things to go that way, or for myself to kind of put myself in a different path, or whatever that is. It's sufficient to do it once or twice, but to keep thinking and mulling over things, it's just it's one of the shadow parts that, everything has shadow and light in our life, but it's one of the shadow sides of mulling over things too much over when there's a Mercury retrograde, because you just go over and over and over and over your same thoughts, and that kind of creates more of that. If you believe in the law of attraction, which is very much real in my opinion, you will understand that the more you put out a painful thought or a happy thought, that will tend to reproduce itself, no matter what it is. The universe does not recognize I don't want that or I do want that. It just recognizes that. And so the more you think about, oh my God, this is not going well for me, I need to do this, I would like to do that, the more you will be presented with that same obstacle in your life. So maybe step back, just, sit with yourself. This is the purpose of Mercury retrograde. It's not to look for the answer outside of yourself. It's all about you and where you're at. And that's when you get the movement forward. That's when you actually start seeing a bit of a bright light at the end of the tunnel. That's when you see cooperation. That's where you see a bit of magic coming back to your life, because otherwise all that you see and all that it is the disillusionment again. I'm sorry, my pronunciation is a bit, it is what it is. I'm not a native speaker, but an English native speaker, but this is what it is. I hope you understand. What I was saying is that if you look into the right spots, which is within yourself and into what you want, and we sit with that, then this magic will come to fruition. Because otherwise all you're dealing with is this guy over here, which, even not knowing what the card is, it kind of tells you that it's a bit dark. It just doesn't, it doesn't want to, it's the kind of thing that keeps you stuck, and that breeds challenges and conflict and confrontation. You don't want that. What you want is this, which is the clarification card that I pulled for the Seeker of Challenges, because I said, wow, what's that dark soul over there? Well, it's the Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups is all about cooperation. This is, this is what you want, and this is what you shouldn't be disillusioned about, but you should make it happen for yourself in the 3D, in reality. And so stop focusing on this and try to look at things this way, and this is what you're going to reach, okay? And then we're moving into our last row here, which is more so like, what kind of outcome can you have if you do all of this work. Okay, nothing is given for free, unfortunately. Well, you get the Nine of Cups. You get so much fulfillment. You get pretty much anything that you would wish for, everything that actually flows in life, and it makes it actually real, and it makes it here. This is the reality. This is your grounding. This is what you're working towards. This is the Seven of Pentacles. This is you really working hard and do your thing. You see how these are all about roots, and how things are being built up. Yes, you're not at the end of your journey yet, but this is what we've been talking about in this whole reading. You're not at the end of your journey. You are in the process of it. And what's available to you if you do your work is a brand new beginning. This is corresponding to the Fool. And so this is one of those beginnings where you are actually starting from, it's a fresh start. You're starting from the very beginning, and you say, okay, maybe now my whole person has been reshaped, my whole sense of individuality, who I am, how I contribute to the world. We're going back to this card, we're going back to the Sun. We're going back to who you are and who you want to be, how you will be seen in the world for, for the qualities that you actually embody. And you have a fresh new opportunity to reinvent yourself. There you go, Mercury retrograde all over again, over there, reinvention. So this is what's available to you, but you got to do the work, and we all do. So I really wish for you the best, because I understand that disillusionment, if this is what you're going through, it's really painful, and I get that most of the time we're trying to avoid it, but it's not about avoidance at this time. It's really about facing our little demons. We all have to do that kind of work. So I really felt it for you, because it's a beautiful reading in the sense that knowing that the energy is available at this time to do that kind of work, it's a very positive sign to me. It's something that tells me, okay, not all is lost, and that's all you need to know in order to motivate yourself. You know that you can be a whole different person if you want to, and you can, and you will be. And so this is for me a very deep, but not easy, but beautiful confirmation that there's an energy that will help you moving forward. And I felt called to pull a couple of more cards from a deck that is an oracle that I actually have very dear to my heart, because it has some insights and uplifting messages, not cheesy. Just for me, they're actually very human level kind of things. So let me show you. Maybe you will get what I mean. I meant to get one card, but again, two came out. And so one of them is Hello from Heaven, and the other one is Give Back. Let me read them to you. I find them very connected to your reading, if you will. So this one says, your loved ones in the spirit world want to connect with you as much as you want to connect with them. They know you've been thinking of them, and they're sending you signs and symbols to show you how much they love you, to prove that they're with you at this time. Now, this is a card that's very dear to my heart, because I do believe in, life after death, and I believe that actually there is no death and everything is a continuation. But inevitably, when somebody that's close to us, somebody we loved, that loved us, passes away, we are kind of drowning in sorrow and nostalgia, and we just miss them. And this is a reminder that you're not alone. And perhaps what this card confirms is this one, that you are not alone. Even if you think you are, there's always somebody there waiting to help you, to be there of support to you. So there's a connection to your reading, I found. And if you believe, obviously, in the afterlife, then this is even more of a sign for you. And the second card is Give Back. Today, let me put it in focus. Today is the day to cast aside normal routines and make your main purpose to serve. It is about giving back without any thoughts or expectation of getting anything in return. Reach out and touch other people's spirits, as it's highly likely that someone really needs you today. And this is, again, a connection to what can you do to reconnect to yourself, to not fall into the trap of disillusionment. Do something practical. Help others. Give back. Do not expect anything. I mean, if people are willing to give to you, you can do the same. And that will be, I promise you, as fulfilling as it can possibly be. And that will turn you into the person that you want to be, really. So that's just another idea. Obviously, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying it's just another way to find the path back to your own self, to who you truly are and who you probably or possibly would like to be in the world. Okay, so this is what I have for you at this time, Virgo. I hope you find some relief or support or something that is useful to you in this reading. And if you liked it, if you find the content valuable, please do not forget to put a like on this video, and definitely do not forget to subscribe. As I said, this is the beginning of my journey, and it would be very helpful to me to understand that, by subscribing to my channel, you confirm that this is something that can be of use, and this is my purpose at this time. I would like to know that I am able to reach as many people as possible, with a message of hope and an uplifting little contribution from my part. So thanks for letting me know. I will be posting more content. If you have anything you'd like to tell me, any comment, please put it in the box below. I'd really love to interact with all of you and know what it is that you would like me to talk about more, or if there's any style of reading that you would prefer me to do. And any comment, really, I would be appreciative of your interaction. So I hope to see you soon again, and bye. Thank you.